Proviron Mesterolone steroid profile. Proviron's kind of a unique steroid. It's kind of a utility tool. It's one of those things. If you have the money to use it, it is expensive. It can help out. I don't know if the benefit versus cost ratio weighs out unless you have the money to burn. But we'll go into it. I've used Proviron quite a bit. Some people don't use it at all and think it's a waste of time and it's ineffective. But I'll talk about my experiences and what I think about it. So anyway, let's dig in. Let's take a look at Proviron here. So properties of Proviron. It is classified as an androgenic steroid only. It says it on the box. Androgen must be true, right? Um, it is a structurally altered form of DHT. Out of the DHT derivatives, it is the one that is most closely similar to DHT. Effectively, in the body, it pretty much is DHT. It's just an oral DHT. The only thing that has been changed from the original DHT molecule is an addition of a methyl group at the one carbon position. And what this addition does is allow it to be absorbed through the body orally. And what's unique about this is it doesn't have hepatotoxicity like a C17AA does, but it's also not as absorbed as effectively as a C17AA oral steroid. The so the androgenic to anabolic ratings on this can be a bit confusing or misleading. It has an androgenic rating of 30 to 40, but yet it's a strong androgen. It's because of how it binds to the androgen receptor. It binds very strongly to the androgen receptor. An anabolic rating of 100 to 150. So technically it's higher than test in an androgenic rating, but it has almost zero anabolic effect. It's unmeasurable on the body, and this is due to it being rapidly reduced to a diol metabolite in the muscle, just like DHT. So remember, it is essentially DHT. What it does do is it strongly binds to sex hormone binding globulin, SHBG, and what this does is potentiate other steroids to work better by freeing them up and instead of them being in a bound state with the SHBG. So your other steroids are going to work better when you take Proviron. Technically, you could probably use lower doses on everything else if you're using Proviron with it. I have not put that to test, but in theory, that would be true. It also has somewhat of an anti-estrogen effect like Masteron does, so it slows the conversion of other steroids into estrogen. It was originally released in 1937 and it was used to treat low libido and increase androgen levels in men. And of course, we already mentioned it, it is an oral steroid, androgenic steroid, not androgenic anabolic. It's not an AAS, it's an AS. Effects of Proviron, decreased SHBG, as we already established, increased sex drive, um, mild inhibition, if I can fucking speak, of aromatase, a very weak anabolic action, and a very strong androgenic action. Side effects of Proviron, it's very mild. Um, it's pretty safe. There's no estrogenic side effects, no progestinic side effects. Um, there are risk of androgenic side effects. While it has a low androgenic rating, it still can cause issues because of it strongly binds with the receptor. It does cause it can cause hair loss. And 5-AR inhibitors don't work since it doesn't directly convert into um, um, DHT. This is true with all the DHT derived steroids. Keep that in mind. Okay. Um, it does strongly skew lipids in higher doses. A study showed that a 100 milligram dose for 6 months caused a 19% decrease in LDL and a six or HDL, sorry, and a 65% increase in LDL. I always get LDL and HDL backwards. Um, it has a very, very, very weak suppression of natural testosterone. So weak that it and studies showed that in doses less than 150 milligrams per day, there was no measurable suppression of natural testosterone. So in theory, if you wanted to take this while off, completely off, your natural testosterone would work more effectively, freeing more up to be free test. I will tell you in my experience when I've gotten my free test measured after using it, it is fucking crazy high. It's like insane. My doctor was like, this has to be an incorrect reading. It was so high. Women, it does masculinize women, so yeah, probably shouldn't use it unless you want to be a dude. Applications for Proviron. Fat loss phases. This is probably a decent time to use it. Suppressing the SHBG to free up other steroids to work more effectively, and suppressing estrogen conversion. You want to get the most out of the least. Suppress estrogen, get a harder look. This is probably beneficial during, androgens harden you up as well. So this would give you a beneficial look during contest prep. For cruising or coming off completely, I think this is an overlooked application. Um, people, a lot of times guys crash when they go from high doses down to TRT and have estrogen gets out of control and just, sex drive goes to shit. So this, I would think would help correct that. I have not put that theory to test yet. I don't have those issues when I cruise, but you're going to suppress estrogen. You're going to increase sex drive, and you're going to create more free tests by binding up SHBG. So I think it would have a perfect application for coming off or cruising. I don't know why more people don't use it that way. Maybe somebody could correct me on that, but I've heard very few people using it in those situations. But I would think, looking at the properties of the drug, it would be ideal for those situations. Proviron's half-life, it's 12-hour half-life, so you probably want to take it twice a day if you want to keep peak concentrations in the blood. Cycles and doses. Male beginner dose, 25 milligrams per day. Intermediate dose, 50 milligrams per day. Advanced dose, 50 plus milligrams a day. I haven't really heard of anybody taking more than 100 milligrams per day. There probably are people that do. I usually run 50 on contest prep, maybe 25 if I was in another state. If you were on cruise and wanted to add, 25 to 50 milligrams would probably be plenty. Females, like I said, don't use it unless you want to be a dude. But that's your call. It is a straight androgen as far as you're concerned, and you want to stay away from androgens if you're a woman. My experience makes me horny as fuck. Sometimes it's out of control. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you need help in that area, it's going to give you some help. Um, Hardens me up. Not in that way, guys. It definitely gives me a harder look, more veiny. Also good for contest prep. Lowered my estradiol marginally. It wasn't anything crazy, but I've seen on blood work that estradiol does decrease a bit when you're on it. Similar to Masteron, I would say. Um, I like to use a low dose every once in a while. You know, when estrogen is an issue or sex drive is an issue. Like I said, I think it would be good to use on cruise. Uh, no notable side effects. I didn't have any side effects with it. It didn't mess with my lipids at all. Although I take a ton of fish oil. I think fish oil has a kind of counteracts some of those problems. It is expensive as fuck. I don't know why it's so expensive. It's one of the oldest ones that I would assume easy to manufacture, but it is pretty expensive compared to other steroids. I think of it's like a cherry on a sundae. If you got the money to burn, by all means add it in. Masteron likely does the same thing, maybe better because it does. It is anabolic, whereas Proviron is not. So maybe run just a little more Masteron, and you probably get the same effect. Um, but you know, it does have that strong SHBG binding effect that I don't think that Masteron does quite as effectively. So it is like the cherry on the sundae. If you got the money to burn, you might want to add it to your contest prep stack. Thank you for watching my video. Please like and subscribe, please. I need subscribers. A lot of people are watching my videos, and nobody's subscribing. Very few. It's a very small percentage. But if you like my videos, you want me to make more of these things, I would appreciate it if you subscribed. Feel free to ask questions in the comments section. I'll do my best to answer all of them. And if there are other videos you would like me to make, I am open to suggestions. I would be happy to make other videos. I've had some pretty good suggestions so far. I've had several people reach out to me, um, and I've got some good ideas. I've been keeping notes of things I want to make, and I will have them on deck. So thank you for those suggestions. I may do some Q&A as the channel grows. So, um, but anyway, follow me on Instagram at Paul K. Barnett, and thank you. Have a great day.